Hey, Coach Mitch here. How you doing? Today we're going to give you a side-by-side the civilian interview versus the CBP interview. Mind you, the CBP interview questions, none of these are in my interview, my coaching program. Just 5 questions I brought up for you. But I want you to see the difference between the two type of panels you're going to deal with, okay? So I'm going to ask one civilian question, then one CBP question, and back and forth like that for a total of 5. I want you to understand what's really going to go on here, okay? So here we go. Well, first of all, I want to tell you thank you for coming into the interview. Appreciate that. So you're here for the entry-level clerk? Okay, great. Fantastic. Well, how'd you drive in today? Was it okay? The weather okay? Oh, fantastic. Did they give you coffee out there? Did Jared bring you coffee? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Good. All right. So first of all, I want to tell you thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here. Me and Joe are going to ask you a few questions, see how you do. We'll go from there, okay? So first question is, why do you want to work here? Okay, that's a civilian beginning, okay? Let's get into the CBP. First of all, the Zoom's gonna open up. You can see a couple of hard-looking faces there. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in today. Can I have your full name? You know right now you're under the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement. You'll say yes to that. Thank you for that. At this point here, we're gonna ask you some questions. If you don't understand the question, you can always ask to repeat the question. It's not a problem. Do you understand that? Thank you. Describe to us a situation where you faced an ethical dilemma. What decision did you make and why? Okay, back to the civilian side. So thank you for that last question. So tell us, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? We want to know, yes. CBP side. Tell us about a time you had to make a quick decision under stress. And tell us what was the outcome. Yes, the outcome. What was the outcome? Civilian side. How do you handle a difficult customer or a difficult coworker? Yeah, we have those. We know that already, right? But we want to know how you handle it. CBP. Describe a time when someone disagreed with your decision or your authority. Tell us here today, how did you respond to that and what did you do to resolve the problem and what steps did you take? Civilian side. Tell us, we want to know, where do you see yourself in, say, 5 years? Where will you be in 5 years? CBP side. Tell us about a situation where you had to enforce a rule or a CBP policy or any policy for that matter that others resisted. And then tell us how you resolve that situation. Civilian side, do you work well in a team? We have a very large team here. Do you work well with teams? CBP side, describe a time when you had to rely on teamwork to achieve a mission that was under extreme pressure. Civilian side. Well, that's all for the day. We want to ask you, do you have any more things for us to know about you or college? Where'd you go to college? Oh, fantastic. You know what? A 3.2 GPA? That's fantastic. That's great. Yes. No problem at all. So we'll probably call you at the end of the week and maybe next week too. We got a lot of people to deal with today. So thank you for coming in, though. You take a good, have a great day, okay? Take care. CP side. This now concludes our interview for today. I want you to look in your portal the next 24 to 48 hours for a response from us. If you don't hear from us after a week, you are to make contact with your manager or call CBP to find out what happened to your results. At this point here, we're now going to end the interview. Have a good day. Goodbye. That's it, guys. That's your civilian side versus your CBP side. Now, the civilian side is a little more gregarious than usual, but I want you to see the difference. People think they're walking into the civilian type of interview in a CBP or BP or FBI or whatever interview I teach they're going into. They think it's going to be that way because we are conditioned as civilians, right, to think it's going to be a civilian type of environment while forgetting that it's a federal level paramilitary organization that's law enforcement. This is why I say all the time, 60% fail, because they have this paradigm that that's how it's going to be. People are going to ask them about their college and the GPA and all that stuff. No one gives a darn about that. It's going to be pow, pata, 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 4 heavy-hitting questions. See how you respond to them. That's what it's all about for CBP. BP even gets harder than that, right? So that's what it's about. You do not want to walk into that arena, think it's going to be that civilian way, and find yourself getting hit with that first question that you heard from the CBP side and thinking you're going to survive that, and you're not. If you're 25 and a half years old and you go in the interview that way for CBP, you're going to be 26 before you can apply again because you're not going to make it. No way. You're not going to make it. Now, some people can make it. We know that already, right? Obviously, some people can. But the sheer number of people who should have passed the first time should be improved upon. I've been improving that for a long time now because people get into my coaching and I show them how it works. The judgment you must use. What policies are you talking about? How's your tonality? How is your willingness to push back in the interview panel? Do you understand the law enforcement practices and procedures? Do you understand lethal force, when to use it, when you can't use it? Do you understand the Fourth Amendment, how it's used in law enforcement? Those are all things that just smack people upside the head on an everyday basis. CBP is picky because they can be, because they know they have 10 people just like you trying hard for the same job. You must prepare for battle. It is a battle. You have no backup. It's just you in that Zoom with 2 or 3 professionals who are fully armed up, fully in uniform, and they had no time for silliness, no time for rambling answers, no time for you, oh, sorry, can I start again? That kind of stuff. They don't want to hear it. They want answers to their questions with an action and a result to it that's within the legal confines of your job, backed up by CBP policy, understanding how it works with your tenacity, determination, focus, and mission. That's what they want, and that's what I teach. If you're not up to that, do not walk in there unless you're prepared for that environment. Guys, Coach Mitch here. I teach LE, FBI, CBP, BP, FAMS, Secret Service. I teach all that for 6 years. 90.4% success rate. If you want the same, if you want a chance in this battle here, contact me down below. Get into my calendar. I'll meet you on the other side. Take care. Bye-bye.